What's going on YouTube? JT is Reborn here, and welcome back to another edition of my DC comic book reviews. And in this video, we're going to be talking about Batgirl issue number 1. This one is written by Tate Brombo, with art by Takeshi Miyazawa. And this is the first Cassandra Cain solo Batgirl title in, like 2 decades or something like that. It's been an awfully long time since Cass has led a Batgirl book because, we had New 52 and Barbara took over there. Yeah, she kind of co-led the Batgirl's book, which was kind of underwhelming. I covered every issue of it on the channel. Her and Stephanie Brown were written to be a little too childish. Like, it felt very inconsistent with the rest of the DC world. But this one feels like a nice throwback kind of series. I don't know if it's because it says parts 1 of 6. So I don't know if this is just going to be a 6-issue miniseries or if it's going to be a longer ongoing. I guess it depends on the success of the sales. But for those who have been kind of craving classic Cassandra Cain, this reads very much like that. So it kind of has her and Shiva there. They have that complicated relationship. They make sure to showcase Cass's and Shiva's ability to kind of like read body language, and because before she could speak, that's how she was able to kind of communicate. And, they're both two of the most gifted fighters within the DC universe, and that's on full display here. So Shiva shows up. Cass basically wants nothing to do with her mom because, for those who don't know, obviously, they don't generally, there's probably some love on the surface, but, there's also kind of this resentment with one another because they have, I guess, killed each other, in the past. And, Cass was raised to be a murderer, and she kind of had to, find her own destiny, and she wants to be seen as, the daughter of Batman. The mantle means so much to her, and, Shiva's there. She kind of, scoffs at it a little bit, too. So, yeah, she kind of shows up. Is we got to get out of here. We got some ninjas coming after us. They're going to come after your family and all that, too. And let's just kind of go. And they show up. We don't really get an explanation as to why they're necessarily doing this. We also find out there's the Order of Shiva, but Cass is kind of reluctant to deal with her mom, and ultimately she kind of has to agree to kind of help her out of the situation, but no killing is something very important to her, and the Order of the Shiva is there. They get attacked, and basically kind of ends simply with them just kind of ready to fight. So nothing overly complicated, or it's a very simple setup. It's Cass and her mom. Not sure where this takes place. I think it's set in the main universe. Where it necessarily is set, because there wasn't really any big lead into this title or anything like that. I read Birds of Prey, which is where Cass has been most frequently showing up as of now, and it didn't really set the stage for this book. This is just kind of one that's oh, here's a new Batgirl number 1. We had Batgirls, but this is one for Cassandra Cain fans who have been begging DC for a really long time for a Cass-focused book, and you can tell this is a book written by somebody who really loves Cassandra Cain because it reads very much like an older Cassandra Cain issue. Nothing rewriting what's the word I'm looking for? They're not changing the status quo or anything like that. This feels like something you'd see in the past. It's not gonna change lives or anything like that, but it is gonna feel like a nice little throwback to those who are fans of kind of the older Cassandra Cain, when she kind of had her own solo, which I guess was popular more so back in the day, because Cass really hasn't been given the greatest of showcasing at DC. She has gotten better in the last couple of years, I'd say. She was on the Batgirls title. Even in DC, she became Cass Shazam, and she's gotten more appearances here and there. She was Orphan for a while, and then she was Black Bat, and then now she's back in the Batgirl mantle. I don't know if Stephanie Brown really is, or if she's purely spoiler. I feel like DC really needs to kind of set the stage of who's Batgirl and who's Robin. It's the same thing, too. You have Tim, who's still kind of Robin, but Damian, who's also Robin. Tim needs to get, a new codename. Make him Red Robin, or give him, a new thing entirely. Don't make it stupid like Drake, why would somebody, make their own superhero name? They're literally their last name. That was just one of the dumbest things. Make him Cardinal or something. You want to keep with the bird theme or whatnot. I don't know. I just think it could be something else. Steph should be spoiler at this point. I let her stick with that one, even though I like Steph as Batgirl. Cass clearly likes the mantle a little bit more, and Bab should just kind of stick around as Oracle at this point. Maybe occasionally don the cowl every once in a great while, but I like to see her just kind of stick around as Oracle at this time. Maybe her and Dick with their relationship, if she gets pregnant, she's okay, I gotta kind of retire this time. I'm gonna be a mom. So that would be kind of a cool way to kind of do it. She passed the torch, I want you to as this. But then again, we had the Batgirls, but I don't know. Steph should just stay spoiler because, like, you know, Cass is already in the Batgirl suit right here. So that's what I would do. I keep Damian as Robin. I keep Cass as Batgirl. Have them team up. Like, that's one I'd like to see. But that's getting on a whole other subject or whatever. But that's the focusing on this book. I think the artwork is pretty good. And like I said, I like the dynamic between Cass and Shiva. They got a complicated relationship. But this feels, like I said, it feels like a Cass that we've kind of been wanting to see for a little while right now. And it kind of gives that old feel, and I think that's what I like most about it. I think Cass fans will be pleased with this issue. It's not the most like epic story or anything like that. It's a very simple setup, but let's see how it kind of goes. Like, I think like we'll really kind of judge the quality of this over the course of a couple issues, but this is a good like getting right back in that comfortable like feeling that you haven't had in a while. So we'll see how it kind of turns out afterwards. So yeah, like I said, I like this issue mainly for kind of what it does. With Cass and Shiva feeling like a little bit older. And I like the fact that Cass is in the lead right here with her mom. You don't really have anybody else like kind of like coming in to jump in and like hog the spotlight. It's just focused primarily on those two. And I feel like that's something we haven't really seen a good showcasing of in quite a while. So I'm all for this. So yeah, I don't know if this is just a 6-issue miniseries, but if it is, I'm going to be checking out each one and talking about it. And if it does expand, I think that's a good thing too. So there you go. But anyways, that's going to wrap it up for this video. I'm finally all caught up with the DC comic reviews. Man, I have been slacking. I got to tell you what, y'all. I've been slacking when it comes to these comic book videos like the last few weeks. I feel like I've been just really slow to kind of like get on these things, and I really should be a little bit faster. But like just other things get in the way sometimes. But that's going to change now. We're going to be back. We're going to catch up. And this week, I'm going to try and get everything done, like, the first day. So, I used to be able to just get these things out, like, early in the morning. But now with the way, like, trying to upload from, like, my phone sometimes, I can't, like, just kind of trim it or edit it or whatever. And it just kind of gives me more and more issues. And I don't exactly know why. I can't use the YouTube editor unless I'm on my actual computer. I also don't like the fact that DC kind of switched their days from Tuesday back to Wednesday. I would have liked to have they just kept it like Tuesday, because it separated them from other comic book publishers. It was like the only time they were like the only day. It was like 2 comic book days at once, but hey, that's just me. So just kind of rambling a bit. But anyways, go check out Batgirl issue 1. Like I said, if you're a fan of Cassandra Cain and kind of that classic stuff, I think you'll probably appreciate it more than those who are less familiar with it. Because if you're like not as familiar with Cass, I mean, you could still jump into this thing just fine. I think it gets a good showcasing of her and Shiva. And it's not like it's the most groundbreaking story. Her mom shows up and some ninjas are there to fight them. That's pretty much about it. But it's just kind of the feeling of getting something you haven't seen in a while that feels kind of fresh and, you know, just like it feels comfortable, like a little bit nostalgic in that way. And sometimes a little bit of nostalgia is fine. So when you over rely on it, that it just kind of becomes a little bit tiresome. But I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on with the Order of Shiva and who's attacking and why. I hope it just kind of stays them in the storyline. But if other bad family members do cross over, hopefully it's like done in like, you know, done well. So there you go. That's all I have to say. Be sure to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the YouTube channel for more content, hit the bell for notifications, all the other fun stuff. And I will see you all in the next video. Peace out, everyone.